على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم واضرب لهم مثل الرجلين جعلنا لأحدهما جنتين من أعناب وحففناهما بنخل وجعلنا بينهما زرعا كلتا الجنتين آتت أكلها ولم تظلم منه شيئا وفجرنا خلالهما نهرا وكان له ثمر فقال لصاحبه وهو يحاوره أنا أكثر منك مالا وأعز نفرا ودخل جنته وهو ظالم لنفسه قال ما أظن أن تبيد هذه أبدا وما أظن الساعة قائمة ولئن رددت إلى ربي لأجدن خيرا منها منقلبا قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره أكفرت بالذي خلقك من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم سواك رجلا لكن هو الله ربي ولا أشرك بربي أحدا ولولا إذ دخلت جنتك قلت ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله إن ترني أنا أقل منك مالا وولدا فعسى ربي أن يؤتيني خيرا من جنتك ويرسل عليها حسبانا من السماء فتصبح صعيدا زلقا أو يصبح ماؤها غورا فلن تستطيع له طلبا وأحيط بثمره فأصبح يقلب كفيه على ما أنفق فيها وهي خاوية على عروشها ويقول يا ليتني لم أشرك بربي أحدا ولم تكن له فئة ينصرونه من دون الله وما كان منتصرا هنالك الولاية لله الحق هو خير ثوابا وخير عقبا صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Al-Kahf. From the beginning of this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing those discussions which strengthen the hearts of believers and tell them that this worldly life does not matter, and what really matters is the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believing in one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and giving precedence and preference over to the life of the hereafter. So the first story that was mentioned in this surah was the people of Kahf, who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave refuge for a very long period in a cave, in a cavern, where nobody could touch them and Allah protected them. Then this discussion about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sticking to those people who are poor, and with their remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to propagate and give progress to deen rather than people of authority and people of wealth. So in the time of Dajjal, and as the fitan that come towards the end of the times, these are the things that are going to matter. Muslims are going to be deprived slowly and gradually of the worldly things, and the control of the worldly things and the authority and the wealth will go into the hands of, slip from the hands of Muslims into the hands of the disbelievers, and the world will become tightened upon Muslims. And it is very important that in these situations, in these times of trial, Muslims stick to the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their belief is very firm in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us that with the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with firm belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will help Muslims even without there being any apparent means. So here today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ayat that we recited, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is narrating another story. Again, connection is that these people give importance to the world and the belongings of this world that they have Tell them the story of these two people. وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا. Give them an example. رَجُلَيْن. There were two men. جَعَلْنَا لِأَحَدِهِمَا جَنَّتَيْن. We gave one of them two gardens. مِنْ أَعْنَابٍ. Of grapes. وَحَفَفْنَاهُمَا بِنَخْلٍ. And surrounded both of them with date palms. وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَهُمَا زَرْعًا. And placed vegetation between them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave one of them, who was a disbeliever, a lot of good things in terms of wealth that he had. He had two gardens, grapes, date palms. Not even that. كِلْتَ الْجَنَّتَيْنِ آتَتْ أُكُلَهَا. Both the gardens brought forth their fruit. وَلَمْ تَظْلِمْ مِنْهُ شَيْئًا. And suppressed nothing from it. So even normal date palm trees, their way is that sometimes, some years they bring fruit, some years they stay dry or they do not bring fruit. Similarly, in one whole garden, some date palms will bring fruit, some will stay dry. But the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with this person was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him, and these trees brought fruit every year. وَفَجَّرْنَا خِلَالَهُمَا نَهَرًا. And we caused a stream to flow through them. So there was no dearth of water either. وَكَانَ لَهُ ثَمَرٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying again, he had a lot of wealth. So not only those gardens, but he had all sorts of wealth, gold, silver, you name it. فَقَالَ لِصَاحِبِهِ. So he said to his companion, وَهُوَ يُحَاوِرُهُ. And they were conversating. He was doing this conversation. أَنَا أَكْثَرُ مِنْكَ مَالًا وَأَعَزُّ نَفَرًا. He said, I am better, I am greater than you in wealth and stronger in manpower. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him a lot of servants and manpower as well. وَدَخَلَ جَنَّتَهُ. And he entered his garden. وَهُوَ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. And he was being cruel to himself, he was doing wrong to himself. قَالَ. As he said, مَا أَظُنُّ أَن تَبِيدَ هَذِهِ أَبَدًا. I do not doubt, I do not think that this garden, this vegetation, this wealth, these people that I have, they will ever go away or they will ever perish. وَمَا أَظُنُّ السَّاعَةَ قَائِمَةً. Going one step further, he said, I do not think that the Sa'ah, the day of judgment, will ever come. وَلَئِن رُدِدْتُ إِلَىٰ رَبِّي. And even if it does, and when I am sent back to my Lord, لَأَجِدَنَّ خَيْرًا مِنْهَا مُنْقَلَبًا. I will surely find a better place than this, and even better place than this to resort to. So in his mind, he was bringing his wealth and the things that Allah has given to him in this world as proof that not only am I doing good in this world, but also I will, because I am a beloved and accepted in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will, even if the hour comes and we have to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will be in an even better shape because I am beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The proof of that, na'uzu billah, in his thought was that Allah has given me so much in this world. The way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he does not like someone, one way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them a lot in this world. They have a lot and they are indulged and they never think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is called istidraj. So anybody doing good in this world or bad is not a sign of acceptance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to the kuffar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to them, even to animals, to insects. Everyone has a share in this world. قَالَ لَهُ صَاحِبُهُ. The believing companion of his, he said to him, وَهُوَ يُحَاوِرُهُ. And they were, as he was conversing with him, أَكَفَرْتَ بِالَّذِي خَلَقَكَ مِن تُرَابٍ ثُمَّ مِن نُطْفَةٍ ثُمَّ سَوَّاكَ رَجُلًا. Are you turning away, or are you doing kufr to, are you denying him, the one who created you from dust? So every human being has been created from dust through Hazrat Sayyidina Adam ala nabiyina salatu wassalam. ثُمَّ مِن نُطْفَةٍ. And then in the near past, from a drop. ثُمَّ سَوَّاكَ رَجُلًا. And then he made you a perfect man. لَكِنَّهُ اللَّهُ رَبِّي وَلَا أُشْرِكُ بِرَبِّي أَحَدًا. As for me, I believe that Allah is my Lord and I do not associate anyone with my Lord. وَلَوْلَا إِذْ دَخَلْتَ جَنَّتَكَ. And he said to him that, why when you entered your garden did you not say, إِذْ دَخَلْتَ جَنَّتَكَ قُلْتَ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. Everything is according to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and there is no power except with Allah. This is something that we are supposed to say when we see somebody in a good state or we get something. Then we should say MashaAllah, MashaAllahu la quwwata illa billah, which means that everything is as Allah wills and there is no power, no authority except from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this person or me something good, and he's the one who's going to sustain it. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that when somebody says it, that ni'mah, that blessing is protected, it's not taken away from that person. Or that ni'mah or that blessing upon which mashallah la quwwata illa billah is said, then that is protected. In tarani ana aqalla minka malan wa walada. If you see me inferior to you in wealth and children. So if you see somebody who is inferior to you, or you are reminded that how Allah has blessed you, then you should say mashallah la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. فعسى ربي أن يؤتيني خيرا من جنتك ويرسل عليها حسبانا من السماء فتصبح صعيدا زلقا. He said, then it is likely that my Lord will give me what is better than your garden, and will send to it a punishment from the heavens, and will become a barren land. That Allah, who has the authority, if you do kufr to him, it is possible that Allah gives me something better, and yours, because of your kufr, it might be destroyed. أو يصبح ماؤها غورا فلن تستطيع له طلبا. Or its water will sink deep in the earth, so that you will never be able to search it out, because everything is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That very water that is sustaining it, Allah might just simply take that away, and then there will be nothing for you to water your plants or to get nourishment for your plants. وَأُحِيطَ بِثَمَرِهِ فأصبح يقلب كفيه على ما أنفق فيها وهي خاوية على عروشها ويقول يا ليتني لم أشرك بربي أحدا. And its produce was overwhelmed by calamities, and he stood wringing his hands in anguish over what he had invested in it, while it was fallen down on its trellises. And he was saying, I wish I had not ascribed any partner to my Lord. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that finally a punishment did come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and everything was destroyed, and this person had nothing except to lament and wish that he had not done any shirk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَمْ تَكُنْ لَهُ فِئَةٌ يَنْصُرُونَهُ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ وَمَا كَانَ مُنْتَصِرًا. There were no supporters for him beside Allah who could come to his help, nor was he able to defend himself. هُنَالِكَ الْوَلَايَةُ لِلَّهِ الْحَقِّ. That is where the power of protection rests with Allah. هُوَ خَيْرٌ ثَوَابًا وَخَيْرٌ عُقْبًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, هُنَالِكَ الْوَلَايَةُ لِلَّهِ الْحَقِّ. That is where the power of protection rests with Allah, the true God. هُوَ خَيْرٌ ثَوَابًا. He is the best in rewarding, وَخَيْرٌ عُقْبًا, and the best in requiting. So therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the perfect authority. Whenever somebody has it, number one, the worldly belongings, the worldly possessions, they do not matter. They are very inferior. They are in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala constantly. Somebody, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them and thus tests them. Do they stay thankful? Do they stay on faith? Somebody, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes it away from them and thus tests them. That do they stay still patient and still submit to me? These things of the power of the world, of the authority, of the wealth, of control, they are all in reality in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muslims should never lose hope. If the things of the world are not going in their favor, they should never lose hope. What they should keep on doing is to keep on turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to keep on asking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody says that we should give up the means of the world, but even in using the means of the world, our eyes, our reliance should be on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the true goal. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.